My background with meditation is quite long-standing now. So when I was about 7 years old, I started having these kind of spontaneous mystical experiences, which was kind of weird for a 7-year-old. But they were pretty significant experiences. They're all kind of along the lines of the sort of stuff that you might read about, psychic phenomena, seeing entities, having different states of consciousness, all these different sorts of things. And so all these things started happening to me when I was quite young, and they were very much outside of my control. Like, I wasn't looking for this sort of stuff at all. I was literally trying to push it away because it was just really overwhelming as a young kid. So I had to start meditating when I was about 7. I was given just very brief instruction about clear your mind. And so I thought to myself, okay, cool, I'll do that. And so I would just sit there, particularly in the evenings when these sorts of phenomena would become more apparent, and I would work away at being able to kind of clear my mind. And that took me around about, around about maybe 7 or 8 years until I got to the point where I was about 16, and then I could shut things off. And I kind of kept it shut off because I was like, I'm not really interested in that sort of stuff really, because it was kind of, I didn't really understand it. So I got to the point where I could shut things off, and then I went in and studied physiotherapy. So I went into the sciences and went to university and did all that sort of stuff, and then I ended up doing some postgraduate work, and now I teach at Griffith University, so I teach physiotherapy, and I kind of specialise now in communication and a few other little areas. But it wasn't until my maybe mid-20s where I decided that this was something that I wanted to pick up again. It was kind of like I remember having a chat to an ex-partner of mine at the time, and I just said to her, I was like, I just want to reconnect with my spirituality. And I remember saying that, and the words just kind of came out of me. I didn't even really know what that meant for me. So I started really delving into it formally around about, what is that now, like 13 odd years ago, something in that sort of region. And I started to go back to my meditation practice, and this started to deepen over time until it got to a point where there were some pretty notable kind of changes within myself. And these changes are documented within all the kind of spiritual texts, the sort of things that may happen as a result. And it got to a point where there was really significant changes in my awareness, and then alongside that, changes within my own physiology that kind of accompanied that we may talk about later on. So it's kind of come full circle now that I've recognised that all the stuff that I was doing within physiotherapy was kind of leading and coming together with all the stuff that I was doing in my private life. And so now what I do is I kind of try and teach meditation for people, particularly who are kind of dealing with health conditions and different things that are causing them kind of disturbance. But it's meant that because my practice has been going for quite a long time, and it's gone relatively deep now, which is quite nice, it's meant that everything that I'm going to talk to you guys about now is going to be based on experience. So there's a couple of ways of getting to these sorts of understandings. One is through experience, and then you kind of fill in the gaps later with knowledge. And the other is through reading through the texts and going through all the things of what we need to do, and then eventually having the experiences that kind of link up with it. So I kind of talk about them from my point of view and kind of the flavour that I've kind of come across them in, and we'll just see how we go, hey?